Good afternoon, family. It's your boy Dtlf back with another video, man. This is one of my favorite videos to make because we are going to be talking about the playoffs, predictions, matchups, what we'd like to see, etc., etc. But it should be a fun one. So hopefully you guys are doing good this afternoon. Big games coming up starting tomorrow. So make sure you guys keep it locked here for all things NBA, especially with the Lakers, obviously, and more, right? So definitely going to be covering the playoffs this season, and I look forward to the breakdown. Now, for those of you that haven't seen it, here's the chart right here, as you can see. Um, so listen, we started off with some heat in the play-in tournament. Let's look at the Eastern Conference first. All right, that's where we have to look. So you got the ninth and the 10th seed. Those are the teams that barely made it. Right, this is what the play-in was created for. Teams like these. You got the Toronto Raptors, who are very deep, especially at the wing position. They got some talented guards as well and some bigs. Going up against one of the top, one of the better defensive teams with Caruso and guys like that. So that's going to be interesting. Now they're in a win or go home mode, which means they loser of that game goes home straight up. All right, then you got the seventh versus the eighth seed in the East. The Miami Heat versus one of my other favorite young teams, the Atlanta Hawks. They're always fun to watch. Remember, a couple years ago, they made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's definitely going to be a dangerous team to go up against the Heat. Winner of that one advances to the seventh seed to face the Boston Celtics, as you can see in the bottom of the chart. And the loser goes on to play the winner of the ninth and 10th seed. So for those of you that aren't aware how the play-in works, it's very simple, right? The ninth and 10th seeds on both sides, West and Eastern Conference, barely made it. So they're playing for their lives. They got to win 2 games in a row to even make it, just to go off and face the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks. So that's your grand prize for surviving the play-in. The loser goes home and gets eliminated. On the other end, the 7th and 8th seeds, they're basically, before the play-in, they had their spot locked in. So they get the benefit of the doubt. They get to even lose 1 game and still have another chance. So that's the good news. Good guy said, "Where my Lakers at?" They call me Dan the Laker. Yes, sir. He knows the anthem. Lakers. All right, now let's get to the West side. The West side of things, you got the Lakers versus the Timberwolves. Obviously, if you guys haven't heard the update, no Rudy Gobert. He was suspended for 1 game for punching his teammate Ryan Anderson. So slow mo, got his player ejected. I wouldn't say ejected, but he's gonna miss a game. Lakers should have that one, but remember, we've been playing down to the competition the last couple of games. The Jazz been giving us fits with their G League squad, as well as the Suns and other teams. So we got to really ramp it up. This is going to be our ramp up game. I expect AD and LeBron to come out here firing on all cylinders and putting this team away. They don't have a legit 7-footer to protect the rim. So, Cat is not really a defensive player. So I need to see AD just destroy him, period. And then also, crazy turn of events yesterday. Not only did they lose Kyle Anderson, Ryan Anderson, one of the Andersons. Who cares? They're all Andersons, man. They're all from the Matrix. It's the same thing. Listen, Kyle Anderson. There you go. Kyle Anderson. Thank you guys for correcting me. Not only that, but Jaden McDaniels, who's been one of their top young players, is out as well with a broken hand. He fractured his hand when he punched the wall. What a dummy. What a dummy. Who does that right before the play-in? Well, the Timberwolves do. And this is why I say this is not a serious organization. All right. This is the same team that drafted Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn over Steph Curry. So, not a serious organization. We got to put them in their place. If we win tomorrow, we will advance to face the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, so then we'll talk about that when it happens. Then you got the Pelicans versus the Thunder. My God, you talk about an intriguing matchup. You want to talk about an intriguing matchup? Yo, the Pelicans versus the Thunder is going to be awesome. All right, I legit do not know who's going to win that game. They both got young, hungry players. They both got star power. Brandon Ingram for the Pelicans, and the shy kid, Shy Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder. So that's going to be phenomenal. Can't wait to watch that game. Winner advances to play the loser, which should be the Timberwolves. So my prediction there would be, I think the Pelicans will advance. All right, I think they have more experience. They've been into the playoffs last year, so I think the Pelicans will advance to face the Timberwolves, and I do believe the Pelicans should have enough firepower to move up to the 8th seed and face the Denver Nuggets. That's my prediction there. As far as the East Coast, I don't think I made my prediction, so I'm gonna say I think Toronto advances, beats the Bulls, and then faces. I think they're gonna face the Heat. Because I think Atlanta has what it takes to move up and be the 7th seed to face the Celtics. So those are my predictions. Rapid fire. As much as I like Miami's defense, I love Atlanta's offense that much more. Trae Young takes it to another level in the playoffs. They got some athletes down there, so I look forward to watching that game as well. Who do you guys got in the 4 playing games before we move on to talk about the next bracket, which is the actual playoffs? Talk to me, Laker fam. How y'all feeling? He said, anyone who says the NBA scripted, you can't make this stuff up. You can't, man. Guys punching walls, breaking their hand. The guys punching teammates is just out of hand. The last game of the regular season, too, right? What do you guys say? He said, I say OKC's going to win that. Okay, it could go either way. That's going to be a good matchup. I just like Brandon Ingram so much. I feel like he will carry his team. They also got CJ McCollum over there. They got Val's Jonas. It would be an upset if the Thunder win, but can they do it? Sure, they got the talent, right? But Shai is going to have to go off in order for that to happen. And then Josh Giddey is nice too. That's going to be fun. Honestly, T-Wolves would be better without Gobert. He kind of sucks. Well, I'll tell you this. At least AD doesn't have to face, 2 7-footers in the paint. They usually go Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns. So that won't be a size issue. Also, last time we faced them, the guy who was killing us is no longer there, right? The bench guy. What was his name? The 7-footer. He was killing us on the boards. He was, sniping threes. I mean, this dude, he could do it all, and he's out with an injury as well. So, it's going to be really tough for them. But I'll say this: the Lakers better not, play down to the competition, because they tend to do that sometimes. Like, they get too confident and they end up. Yeah, Nazi Reed. Thank you. Nazi Reed, man, he's one of my favorite Timberwolves, along with Anthony Edwards, and he's not there. So thank God for that, because I think he could have been an X factor in that game. But the Lakers got to capitalize. They can't come out here, man, lackadaisical like we've been the last 4 games. We got to come out here and turn up. I saw LeBron, tweeting that 0 dark 30, all of that good stuff. So I need to see it, man. I need to see it from him and AD. They're our leaders. They got to carry us, and the role players will step up, accordingly. So, and not to mention, this is definitely a revenge game for D'Angelo and for Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt. Malik Beasley said it himself. So, these guys been talking about it behind closed doors, and they're letting us into their minds. They really want to get this win. So I expect a motivated D'Angelo, a motivated Malik Beasley, and Vanderbilt. It's going to be so fun to watch. I cannot wait. Man, we finally get some playoff basketball, baby. Oh, man. And believe it or not, the play-in tournament is playoff basketball, because people's seasons are on the line. So it's basically an extension of the playoffs. Think of it as a mini playoff before the playoffs. So the last thing the Lakers want to do, though, is to lose this game, right? And then go on and play a game 7 type scenario. And then you got to go up and face the number 1 seed. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Best case scenario for us, we win. We get 4 days of rest before we take on the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Now, Dan, who are we putting on Anthony Edwards' defense? I mean, you could throw a variety of players. You could start off with Austin Reeves, who fights through screens, takes charges, moves his feet really well. Then you could eventually put Vanderbilt so he doesn't get in foul trouble early on. You could throw Vanderbilt on him. You could throw, all kinds of different players on him. If we can shut him down, Karl Towns not going to carry, man. Pussy Anthony Towns not going to carry. Pussycat, I'm telling you right now, there's no way he's tough enough to carry that team. I've seen him shrink like Ant-Man in the playoffs. So, yeah, I really dislike him. On the other hand, you do got to watch out for Ant-Man. Also, Mike Conley, man. Mike Conley killed us the last time we faced him off of pick and rolls. That's going to be a tough cover, but, we got to do our best, to make sure that we don't let some no-name hero come up and have a huge night versus us, because that could be a really long night. Maurice says, hey, Dan, what's going on in Minnesota? Dang. It's crazy, right? They're out here breaking their hands, fighting each other, calling each other names. I don't know, man. All I know is this: the worst trade I've ever seen in the history of my life was that trade for Rudy Gobert. I have no idea what the Timberwolves were thinking. No idea. They overpaid for a one-dimensional player, and what I mean by one-dimensional is all he's good for is defense and rebounding. He's not a scorer. He's not a playmaker. He can't space the floor. He can't do anything on the offensive end. And then when he doesn't have to go defensively, guess what happens, right? His teammates are going to start hating on you because, like, damn, this dude, we really gave up 4 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps, Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, and all these other key role players for this guy? Man, crazy to think about it, right? But, yeah, that's how I feel, bro, about Minnesota. They're just, I don't know, man. There's something else. Dan, I'm gonna need to drag you to a clinic. LOL. We need to get your health right, bro. This cough is bad, bro. This cough is bad. It's been like that. That's that Cali smog, man. They killing us out here, brother. But I appreciate the concern, man. Listen, I drink teas. I do all kinds of stuff to take care of it, and at times it goes away. I'll tell you what. My best remedy for this cough is balling up. All right, I want to go hoop yesterday. My lungs open up and I stop coughing. Is like if I get myself back all the way in shape where I used to be, this asthma is gonna go away. So that's my key. But I appreciate the concern, my boy. He said, Dan, would you consider doing playback? You know what? I got something up my sleeve, man, for this postseason. I'm gonna do some live in-game reactions, and I'm bringing some of the Around the League crew. All right. So we're gonna make that happen at some point. I'm not sure if it'll be, game 3, game 4, one of these games in the playoffs. We're going to make it happen. Maybe even game 1. We'll see. I'm going to put up a poll and see which one you guys want us to live react to. So it was an idea we had, man. Get together, watch the games, and share, the excitement with you guys on the live stream. So that would be fun. What do you guys think of the idea? I think it's great. Hey, what up, T? Good to see you. How you doing? Mama Vitali said Warriors versus Kings will be likely Warriors versus Warriors. Junior Kerr, Mike Brown, same offense, both play no defense. I see high scoring, good series. I'm gonna get into that one right now, bro. I just we're gonna get into all of the series for sure. Look, it's gonna be a good one. I'll tell you that because, like you said, they're both high octane offense, and so it's gonna be very interesting to see how that plays out. But I think a lot of series are going to surprise some people, That's what I think. I'm going through the same thing with my lungs, bro. It's that Cali smog, bro. They killing us out here. All these factories, everything they pumping out it's very unhealthy for you, man. But, hey, bless up, bro. Just the best thing we can do is stay in shape, drink your teas, and cross your eyes and all of that, man. Whatever it takes to get healthy. Yes, play-by-play is good. Dan, I've been listening to your content the entire year. Love your content. I appreciate you, James. Shout out to James, man. Thanks for the love, bro. Lakers versus Bucks 2023 NBA Finals. All right, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's go to the next round. Let's talk about the actual playoffs, right? So assuming the Lakers make it to 7th and we face the Grizzlies, right? We're going to start right there. We're going to start right at home in our backyard. Lakers versus Memphis is going to be a heck of a series. It might even go 6 or 7, depending on how well the Lakers defense adjusts to Ja Morant, because he's the table setter. If you take him out of the series, they're going to fight. It's going to be an extremely long series for the Memphis Grizzlies. It might end in 5 if you do that. But it's not easy to keep him out of the lane. It's not easy to take care of the basketball and limit transition buckets. It's not easy. You just have to play really disciplined, right? Lakers could win that one in 6. I could see them going for 5 if they're playing the best of their abilities. But remember, these guys, they rely a lot on Ja Morant, and they fell off the cliff for a while when Ja was out, right, with that whole strip club incident, right? So one thing we could say is that they do have weaknesses. No Steven Adams, obviously. They're missing Brandon Clark as well. So they're lacking with some size, right? They're lacking on the size department. And we actually just signed Tristan Thompson. We got Mo. We got, obviously, Anthony Davis. So we're actually going to thrive. So I think that's going to be the key to the game, to that series, is we're going to have to punish him inside. I mean, LeBron, I don't want him settling for that many threes unless he has it going like he did last night. Anthony Davis better become the Loch Ness Monster down low. Rui Hachimura is going to be key as well, man. I like the way this dude is a banger down low. He knows how to use his body, that little nice turnaround jump shot from the post, and runs the transition extremely well. So he's going to be key. He needs minutes. But I do got the Lakers in 5 or 6 in that one, assuming everything goes well and we're healthy and everything. But it's going to be a heck of a series. I look forward to that one if it does play out. James said, Dan, I got the Lakers versus Celtics. Who gets that banner? Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you something, man. Lakers versus Celtic happens, they're going to break the ratings. The internet is going to crash. It's going to be crazy if that does happen. I would love to see it, but I'm not rooting for the Celtics to get there. I'll tell you that. May the best team win out East. Of course, I'm just want the Lakers to thrive no matter what. But hey, that would be a great matchup. Tanya said, Dan, I didn't get no notifications. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube does that. Even though if you guys turn on the post noti bell, sometimes it'll give them to you and sometimes they won't. So that's unfortunate. But we just get into the thick of things. So glad to have you on board as of right now. But what do you guys think? Are you guys nervous for that potential Lakers versus Memphis series? I know I'm nervous for every game moving forward because every game has that much implications to it. But I want to know what the chat thinks. What does Laker family think? You guys nervous? Give me scale of 1 to 10 how nervous you guys are. All right, 1 meaning not nervous at all, or 10 meaning super nervous. You're biting off your nails. You're chewing shit up, man. You're chewing on your couch and stuff from how nervous you are. I'd love to know what Laker fans think of that series. Good guy. Appreciate you, bro. He said, assuming we get the 7th, I hope we embarrass Ja. We good in the West. Almost dunked on you, Morant. I love it. I love the nicknames. He said, I hope Shannon Sharp will be there courtside. Yeah, you know what? I've been saying it all year long, man. We need to humble these young cats because there's a lot of guys out here celebrating like they just won the championship and they don't have the accolades to back it up. So they need to be humbled to the max. All right. And that includes everybody. So it would be nice if we can beat these, these twerking punks and make sure we send them home with a nice little, family vacation picture because they're not going to be around the playoffs very long. Trust me. Same thing with I'm going to get into it right now, but same thing with the Clippers. I told you guys, all that showboating and celebrating is not going to do them any good because come playoff time, that's when you separate the clowns from the heroes, right? So we're going to figure out who's who. But, dude, seriously, it would be really nice to humble those punk-ass Grizzlies, man. Really, really nice. All right. Now we got to go up one series on the chart. If you guys can direct your attention to the screen, we got the number 3 Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. Oh my goodness. That one right there might be a 7-game series. All right. That one might be the first 7-game series I legit think is going to happen in the West. And honestly, yeah, the Warriors have the edge, they have the experience, and I expect them to come out on top. But if it does go 7, the Kings have home court advantage. And if it goes 7, they're going to be playing in Sacramento. They're going to be wanting to light that beam. And I love a good Cinderella story. I do. I think I'm rooting for the Kings just because they haven't been in the postseason. And they got a very loyal fan base, right? I remember when they were trying to move the Kings out of Sacramento, how they rallied around their team to keep them there. So I respect that fan base. Even though we had our little rivalries in the 2000s, that's okay. Rivalries are good for basketball, but I respect a passionate fan base that loves their team. They stuck by their squad all these years. 20 years later, here they are in the postseason, 3rd seed in the West. They have overachieved, but was it just a regular season story? We're about to find out because they're going up against the Red Hot Warriors. And I told you guys, I don't expect the Warriors to win the championship this year after what Draymond did, but they've been really hot. I'm not going to lie. And they're looking like a potential 2nd-round matchup, and I'd love to see it. But at the same time, I like I said, rooting for the underdog. In order for the Kings to beat the Warriors, they're going to have to do a lot, okay? The Kings to beat the Warriors are going to have to beat them at their own game, fast breaks. And they're going to have to run these old men out the gym. And I don't think that's very likely to happen because Curry and Clay are as good as anybody at getting out in the fast break and knocking down threes. They're going to need De'Aaron Fox to be, swipe or no swiping type of Fox. He's going to have to be, very superstar-like. Almost have to elevate his game to superstar levels. He's already an all-star player, but he's going to have to become just a crazy hero for Sacramento. They're going to need my boy Malik Monk, who I love, Kentucky product, to step up. He's been great for them this season. Some have even mentioned him in the 6th Man of the Year conversations. They're going to need Sabonis to really take advantage of that paint because they really don't have paint protectors like that. We know Golden State likes to go small. Kevon Looney is decent, but Sabonis should be able to run circles around Kevon Looney. Now, on the other end, I expect the same thing to happen with Sacramento because they don't have any rim protection, right? So, like my boy was saying, it's going to be an offensive onslaught. Who do you guys got, Warriors or Kings? My prediction is Warriors in 7, but I hope it's Kings in 7, right? But my prediction is Warriors in 7 just because they have that experience. They got Curry, obviously, and, all this championship experience. They should have the edge there. But this is why you love the postseason, because on paper it could be one thing, and then, styles make fights. Let's see how the Kings match up well, with the Warriors. They've had some great battles this season so far. Jesse, what's up, Dan? My bro shop has something for you coming. Hey, I appreciate you, Jesse. How you doing, brother? Good morning. Good afternoon, should I say. I appreciate that, man. All the kindness you guys always show your boy. So I look forward to it, Jesse. Thank you so much. And shout out to your brother. My guy said, you can beat the Warriors if you shut their guards down. But again, remember, Kings aren't necessarily a defensive team. Although I do think that, their advantage is going to be their speed and athleticism, man. They're going up against the older Warriors team, right? Now, Wiggins is going to be back. I don't know how good he's going to make them, right? How ready he's going to be. But that's going to be a hell of a series. I also look forward to that one, man. I mean, I look forward to every series in the playoffs. But I will be dropping by when good games happen to give you guys that post-game recap, even if it is a Warriors-Kings game. Of course, on off days, right? When the Lakers play, it's strictly Lakers. But, I will be dropping by giving you guys my analysis of certain series, certain games. It's going to be a blast. Greg said, first game 161 to 160 Kings. That would be crazy. And listen, I can see it happening because we live in a modern NBA where defense is not played. However, I do expect defense to ramp up in the playoffs, and hopefully the officials let them play like they do for the most part historically in the playoffs. I don't want to see these ticky-tack fouls. I don't want to see Curry running around the screen, kicking out his leg and drawing 3 free throws. You know what I'm saying? I want to see these guys. Let them play. Let them fall. Let the bodies hit the floor, whatever. Just let it happen. That's what I want to see from this playoff series. Theo said, I'm worried about Ham, not the team. Got to be worried about him. I understand that, Theo, especially because he's a first-year coach and he's made tons of mistakes. So I could definitely understand why you're worried about Darvin. We all are. But luckily, we got LeBron. He's like a second coach on the floor, and he said 0 dark 30, man. So he's getting ready. And we know he's about to go ham. And if the last game of the regular season is any indication of how much better LeBron's about to play, then the league is in trouble. But all right, I know y'all been waiting for me to talk about this series now. I know y'all been waiting for me to talk about this series. Phoenix Bums versus the LA Flippers, right? Or San Diego Flippers, should I call them? That's what I'm going to call them. They're not from LA, bro. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. All right. Now, I hate both of these teams, man. If they could somehow knock each other out, like a double KO, I'd be for it. I'd be for it. But remember what I told you guys, right? Told you guys everybody was picking the stupid-ass Clippers to go far in the postseason, right? Everybody thought that they were going to be championship contenders again. And what I always tell Laker Nation and everybody who watches the channel, no. Just no. We know how that movie ends. It's the same movie every year, and it always ends with excuses. Now they're going to use the Paul George excuse. Well, listen, everybody's had injuries all season long. There's no excuses. They beat us. They were throwing a parade and shit when they beat us this last week. And I hate the Suns, but I'm rooting for the Suns to beat the Clippers, man. Ain't nobody like the Clippers. Clippers are the most hated team in the West as far as annoying fan base that talks and yaps, and they never back it up. Well, they're about to exit in the first round. That's a guarantee. Unless an injury happens to KD or something crazy, I can see the Clippers losing in 5 or 6 games max. If it goes to 7, I'll be shocked. 5 or 6 games max, I got the Suns, right? Obviously, the Suns are a legit title contender with Kevin Durant. The Clippers are not, and they're about to get exposed for it. Oh, and by the way, grab your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen, because we got Kevin Durant versus Russell Westbrook, and the sparks are going to fly because we know those two players don't like each other, right? We know Russ doesn't like Kevin Durant because KD left, and KD doesn't like Russ because Russ is Russ, right? You can't win in spite of him. So now we know why KD left, but it should be a fun series, filled with a lot of hate, and and I hope they fight each other and shit. Like I want to see some action. I'm all about that action, boss. I'm ready. But I got the Suns in 5 or 6 max. Okay. If the Clippers go further than that, they've overachieved. That's not going to happen. Clippers are going to lose. Okay. Good guy says LeBron 0 Dark 30 means he's going to miss Dan's recaps. I don't know what that means, but all I know is that LeBron James is about to go ham, and we ain't talking Darvin, baby. Suns in 4. Hey, if they get swept, I would love that personally. But listen, here's the bottom line. And at the end of the day, I hate both of these teams, but I hate the Clippers more because they ain't never accomplished anything, and they talk so much. Suns only really been talking the last couple years or so, but Clippers been doing it for a long time. Since we were tanking, we were rebuilding. They thought LA was their way. What? Listen, LA is the city of champions, and guess who's not a champion, right? So you're not from the city, period. And you're about to get eliminated again. And I'm glad because Charles Barkley guaranteed they will get far, and they're about to get bounced in the first round. I'm glad because I've been telling you guys, and again, it's a prophecy at this point. Come postseason, they're going to go 1 round, 2 rounds max. Well, now it looks like 1 round, and I can't wait to see it happen. I'm going to be here trolling them on the live stream, recapping their losses. I cannot wait. It's going to be a blast to expose these frauds, right? And Flipper Sterile, he's going to be crying like a little girl, and I can't wait for it, man. I look forward to that. But what do you guys have in the chat, man? Who do you guys got? Please don't say the Clippers. Please. Well, who do you guys have, man, between Clippers and Suns in that matchup? I think it should be fun, though. It should still be fun to watch. Dan, people saying the league suspended Gobert to help the Lakers. Where was the energy when the refs were screwing over the Lakers multiple games this season? Man, everybody and their mama knew Gobert was about to get suspended. You don't punch a teammate and get away with it. You don't punch anybody in the NBA and get away with it. He's lucky it's just 1 game. Is the truth. T says, Dan, do you think you're gonna bust out that Laker lucky jacket? I don't know. I've been saving that for a special occasion. Do you guys think I should bust it out for the Timberwolves game? I might only do it in elimination games. So I might do it for the Timberwolves game. But what do you guys think, man? Let me know. I was waiting to bust it out during the first round of the series, right? Versus the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't want to wear it out, man. But I'll tell you this. If you guys want, I will do it for the Minnesota game. Sure. It'll guarantee a victory. I can do that. And then I won't bring it out to like a game 6 or a game 7. Right? That's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, you know what, T? I got you. I got you guys. I'll whip it out for the Minnesota Timberwolves game tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm going to be sweating bullets because that summer's around the corner and it's hot. But I'll take one for the team. Suns in 6. Everybody said Suns. I love it. Everybody said Suns. I love it. Russ will only have 1 good game and will act like he won a championship. Him and KD will hug at the end anyway. That is true. I mean, let's be real. We're going to be entertained by the animosity, but they will hug it out in the end. They're probably going to make out in the back, in the locker room or something. Something sus is going to go on. We know how modern NBA players are softer than pudding, man. We know that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but it's going to be entertaining to watch while the animosity is there. They're going to want to rip each other's head off at first. And then, like you said, they're going to make up and make out at the very end. It's just the way it goes, unfortunately. The sooner the better. Suns in 2. LOL. That would be great if you could do that. Same like Draymond when he made Poole sleep. Suspension is imminent. Exactly. People will say anything. It's not our fault that the Timber Puppies, decided to act immature. It's not our fault. Somebody forgot to give them the Purina. And they were hungry and they were upset. That's what puppies do. But I'll tell you this, man. Lakers still got to respect their opponent. They got to come out here as if they were fully healthy. They got to come out here as if, we're the ones that are missing people. That has to be the mindset. Because if we come out here lackadaisical like we did versus the Jazz on both occasions, like we did versus Phoenix, it's going to be a long night, ladies and gentlemen. So I will get more into that series, when it happens. But for now, I got the Lakers winning. All right. Now, the first overall seed. Who will they be facing? The Thunder, the Pelicans, or the Timberwolves? I got the Pelicans. Pelicans versus Nuggets. That's what I got. Who do you guys have that's going to make it out of the play-in to face the Denver Nuggets? What do you guys think? Regardless, whoever faces them, they should advance in that series. I mean, they got the edge. Jokic has been sensational. They have a lot of depth. Murray's looking healthy now. That's a very dangerous team in the playoffs. And that's going to be who the Phoenix Suns probably face in the second round. I'm not going to get into second round predictions or none of that. I'm just going first round today. So who do you guys have? You guys have the Timberwolves? I see some Pelicans, some Timberwolves. If Zion comes back, the Pelicans, okay. Zion's not coming back for this game versus OKC, that's for sure. The Wolves, Timberwolves, Pelicans. Okay, so we got mixed. He said OKC. Okay, I'm surprised. I'll be shocked if OKC gets out and wins both games. But I would love to see it because I love a good underdog story, like I said. But I would be shocked. Regardless, I have, whether it's the Pelicans, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, I have Denver winning that series in 5-6 games max, depending, right? I really do. Why? Just they've been there before. They've been experienced. They've eliminated teams like the Clippers before. They've gone as far as the Western Conference Finals in the playoffs. Who remembers that 2020 championship? So I think Denver will for sure advance. Who you guys have advancing between the first and the 8 seed, assuming it is the Pelicans, the Thunder, or the T-Wolves? I'd love to hear what you guys think. Denver in 6? That sounds reasonable. I got them in 5 or 6. Minnesota will be the 8 seed. Okay, Tasia. She believes in Minnesota. Okay, that's fair. Well, the odds are in their favor because they get to play 2 games, right? So if they lose one, they can make adjustments. They'll get Rudy Gobert back. They won't get Jaden McDaniels, so that's a tough loss. But they can make adjustments. So I can see why that could be your scenario, Tasia. I could definitely see the Timberwolves getting in there. But I still got the Pelicans. I just believe in Brandon Ingram. Tiny dog, man. Tiny dog. What do you guys got? Lakers could still play Denver if they lose against Minnesota. I know, but I hope that's not even a scenario. I'm not even going to speak that into existence, man. Johnny said, are we confirmed 7th then? Do not use to the play-in rules. Yeah, we're officially the 7th seed unless we lose to the 8 seeded Timberwolves. Then we slide down to the 8 seed. That's the way it works, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's how, and then we'd be the 8 seed, as you can see. We, whoever, basically, this is how it works. Whoever wins the game between us and the Timberwolves will be the 7th seed, solidified. Now, on paper, right now, we're the 7th seed based on the regular season. However, the play-in tournament is like a mid-transition between playoffs and regular season. It's like the end of a regular season, but not quite the start of the playoffs. So it's like a transition tournament, right? Which is why we love it. It's like a mini Game 7. So whoever wins will tomorrow between us and the Timberwolves will officially be the 7th seed. Same thing for 7th and 8th seed on the Eastern Conference. Whoever wins between them will be the 7th seed, right? The other one has to fight for the 8th seed. That's the way it works. Good guy said Dame whines about Portland but won't ask for a trade. You know what? I think everybody's sick of his story narrative. If it happens, then we'll address it then. But I think Damian Lillard he wants the attention. Bro, you can't get the attention if you're not in the playoffs, right? So he's upset because he can't get the attention. And I'm starting to think he's somewhat of an attention whore. Why? Because nobody cares about you. You didn't make the playoffs this year. So just sit your ass home and you love the grind, all that corny shit he was saying. Well, now stick to it. Stick to it and cry me a river, Damian Lillard. You could have requested a trade years ago and you did it. CJ McCollum had the guts to do it, but you didn't. So, it is what it is. Look, I don't feel bad for him anymore. I'm kind of sick of the storyline. It's the same thing. It's like that. You guys ever seen that meme where the grandpa from The Simpsons is leaving the restaurant and he comes back in and he leaves again? That's kind of what Dame is. He's like acting like he wants to leave Portland, and then he comes back and he talks about how loyal he is again the next season. And then it's like, oh my God, I'm so sick of it, man. I'm so sick of it. It's like that one girl that always gets cheated on, but she continues to go back to her abusive man or whatever, and she don't learn her lesson even though everybody told her to leave. That's what it's like. It's like, okay, you made your bed, lie in it. That's just how you feel after a minute. Like, yo, yeah, Damian Lillard is a great player, but he said he wants to be in his comfort zone. So just stay in your comfort zone, stay quiet, man. Enjoy the playoffs, bro. You got all the elite channels at home. You got all the money in the world. Just chill, kick back. That's how I feel about Dame. Sick of it. But how y'all feel, man? How y'all feel about Damian Lillard? Am I being too harsh? You guys want him to be a Laker still? Like, how y'all feel about Damian Lillard? That's what I want to know, because I told you how I feel about him. But, man, yeah, Damian is just a broken record at this point. Just like how nobody hears nothing about Bradley Beal anymore. Facts. There you go. That's a great example, Zoe. Couldn't have said it better myself. Bradley Beal, everybody thought he was going to ask out. He chose the money. He stayed. Eventually, they'll start complaining and crying again. But you chose the money, fam. So, it's what you like. That's what you like. All right. Let's move on. All right, to the East Coast. Do want to talk about the brackets. I said I had Trae Young upsetting the Miami Heat. Everybody's tired of it. See, I love it. I love it. Tasia said, I love Dame. He's my favorite outside of the Lakers, but he needs to own his decisions to stay. That's facts. Either that or just go to management and ask for a trade. And then we can get surprised when it happens that the Portland Trailblazers actually trade Dame. Then we can react to it, right? But I cannot, man. I cannot with this guy anymore. T said free counseling and advice with Dan. Oh, I got something coming for y'all this summer as soon as the season's over. Y'all going to be shocked. All right, this channel is going to expand. But all right, let's move on to the Eastern Conference. Let's start at the bottom. Boston. Who you guys got playing Boston? You guys have Miami or Atlanta? I have Atlanta, and I would love to see the matchup. I think Atlanta is very feisty. I think Atlanta has the dog in them. But also, I think, if we're being realistic, a team that could upset the Boston Celtics could be Miami. Miami has the better defense, obviously, but it depends what you like. So, Boston versus Miami. Okay, I figured everybody would say Miami, but I believe in Trae Young and the Hawks. I feel like they could upset and they could play versus the Celtics and make it a very interesting series. I can see that one ended in maybe 6. But I can see them making it interesting. Trae Young is fearless. We've seen him go into Madison Square Garden and shut the crowd up. We've seen him go into the Boston Garden and shut the crowd up. So I would love to see that series personally. But I'm not mad if it's Miami. Regardless of whoever plays them, I still got Boston coming out, unfortunately. But I would love it if there was an upset there in that first round. Do you guys think Boston advances versus whoever they play, or who you guys have in that bottom bracket of the Eastern Conference? I'd love to know. Lock in your answers now. He said Atlanta, Miami ain't going to do anything with Duncan Robinson and Hero. They are pretenders. The Heat beat the Hawks in the play-in last year, and it wasn't even close. Miami, I feel an upset. Okay. Some people feel an upset. Well, this is a different team than last year, though. I will say that. You cannot base your prediction based off of last year. This is a different Hawks team. This is a different Miami Heat team. So either way, both of these teams will have dark horse potential as far as upsetting some teams, but I'm not sure they could do it versus Boston. Boston's too deep right now. Boston, they have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum firing on all cylinders, so they're going to be very dangerous. I'd love for an upset, though. I will be rooting for an upset. Obviously, I never cheer for Boston, so I'll be rooting for an upset, whoever faces them. May the best team win. That's how I feel about that one. Somebody said Hawks in 6. That would be great. I have a Trae Young jersey. I would wear that if that happens. I never break it out because I'm a Laker fan first, but I would actually wear my Trae Young limited edition jersey if they beat Boston. That's how happy I would be, man. On a Lakers stream too. All right. Philly versus Brooklyn. Listen, man. Philly to me have always been pretenders. James Harden's never winning the championship, in my opinion, unless the Red Sea parts for him and everybody gets hurt and he's able to just waltz in there and take it. But Joel Embiid has been impressive. To me, he is one of the MVP candidates. Personally, I chose Giannis, but I want that series to be good so bad. I just don't see it, though. As good as Brooklyn has been down the stretch, the new players they acquired have been a nice revelation for them. Philly's going to dominate that series. That one might end in 5, right? Even though I do think Philly are pretenders, though. But I got Philly in 5 or 6 max. I'll be rooting for the underdog, the Brooklyn Nets for sure. But what do you guys think? 76ers in 4, 76ers in 5? Okay. So I guess the fans agree. Great minds think alike. Yeah, I got Philly coming out of that one as well, for sure. And I'm going to need Philly to come out of this one because actually I want to see a good matchup in the second round when they go up against Boston. I think if anybody can upset Boston, it could be Philly because they got that inside paint beast, right? So, but bottom line is this: I still think Philly is overrated. They always have been. Joel is a beast, but outside of that, I can't see too many players I trust. James Harden is definitely not a player I trust. I like Tyrese Maxey, but he's still very young, very wet between the ears. We'll see what he does in the postseason. But again, it should be a fun series to watch. I'm gonna say 76ers and 4 or 5 max. If they get to 6, I'll be shocked. Right? Then shout out to Brooklyn. But yeah, it should be fun. All right, and then we got the 4th and 5th matchup. 4th and 5th seed, you got the New York Knicks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh my God, you want to talk about prime time right there? You want to talk about storylines? You want to talk about everything? I mean, hopefully Julius comes back healthy by then, but that should be a great series. I still got Cleveland coming out just because they're very deep, man. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell might be one of the best backcourts in the NBA. No, not might be. They are. They're a top 3 backcourt in the NBA for sure. All right, and they're still very, very young. I like Cleveland because of their size. They got guys like Jarrett Allen, Mobley, USC guy. So I really like them. Obviously, my second favorite team in the league is the Knicks. So I'll be rooting for them. But I still feel like they got to pull off a miracle. For one, because they don't have home court advantage, and we all know that's huge in the playoffs. But for two, they didn't trade for Donovan Mitchell, and I think it worked out for both teams, to be honest with you. The Cavs got better, but they had the assets to give up for him. And the Knicks got better by holding on to him and just holding on to everybody and just signing Jalen Brunson. They got so much better this season, and it's just going to be – I think that one right there, man. That one right there might go to 6 or 7. All right, that's going to be a fun series. I think that one and obviously the Laker one and the Kings Warriors and the Suns Clippers, those are my top 4 first-round playoff matchups. All right. But yeah, that Cavs Knicks series is going to be awesome. Awesome. And I got the Cavs in 7, unfortunately. As much as I want to say Knicks in 6 or 7, I can't say it just because Julius is coming off an injury and I don't know how he's going to look when he comes back. So for those reasons, I got Cavs in 6 or 7, most likely 7. But I cannot wait. Sign me up for that one. And again, I will be doing post-game recaps from time to time from different series. The good games I get to catch, I will be recapping them on this channel. As I promised, once we hit 20K, we'll give you guys so much more content. And like I said, I have a big surprise coming up this summer, man. Let's just say I'm going to add another segment, and it's going to be a Monday through Friday thing. So it's going to be fun and to keep giving you guys that year-round content. All right. The final matchup I want to break down in the first round is going to be the Bucks versus the 8 seed. All right. Now, who do you guys think is going to be there in the 8 seed? I think if the Hawks or the Miami Heat lose, I think, they're going to be the ones who advance to face the Bucks 1 through 8. And, man, honestly, like Milwaukee's probably going to sweep that series, but I want to see a good series. All right. Regardless of whoever is there, I want to see a great series. I'm going to just make a prediction and say it's going to be Miami versus the Bucks in the 8 seed. And it's going to be a blast, right? If that happens, then it might be more than a sweep. Because I think Miami is one of the few teams that could actually challenge the Bucks a little bit, maybe take it up to 5 or 6 games, right? But I still got the Bucks coming out. The Bucks are actually my favorite to come out of the East, assuming they're healthy and everything goes according to their plan. But yeah, look, man, the playoffs are here, baby. They're officially here, and we're here, and it's just gonna be such a blast. Raptors will give them the hardest punch. You know what? The Raptors are very underrated. But we'll see. Bucks sweep the Heat. Bucks in 5. I think whoever it is pulls 1 game. I can see that happening for sure. Milwaukee's gonna be very dominant. I'm expecting a Celtics versus Bucks Eastern Conference Finals, if we're being honest. But I'm not going to go too far into the matchups because things can change. Injuries happen, foul trouble, suspensions, anything can change the course of a playoff series. And that's why we can make all the predictions we want. But, this is why we watch the games to see stuff actually, unravel and play out. So regardless, man, it's going to be a fun series. And it all starts tomorrow with the Lakers versus the Timberwolves and the Pelicans. Wait, who's the other team? I think it's the Hawks versus the Heat, and then it's the Lakers Timberwolves. So I will be watching both games tomorrow. My eyes are gonna be glued to the TV screen, man. I can't wait to break it down with y'all. The play-in could be only 1 game, Sin City. It could be 1 game, depending. It's 1 game if you win. As you can see, the bracket is self-explanatory. The winner goes on to tomorrow goes on to play as the 7th seed on both of the brackets, right? East and West. The loser has to play on a game 7 type scenario versus the winner of the 9th and 10th seeds. which means that the loser of the 9th and 10th game, which is coming up on Wednesday, is going to go home, right? Do not do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to jail type stuff. So this is why we love to play in tournament. It gives you Game 7 type vibes. So if the Lakers want 4 games off, they have to win tomorrow, and then they'll go on to face the Memphis Grizzlies, officially making us the 7th seed. So we got so much to break down, man. But that's gonna wrap it up for me, y'all. This was actually pretty fun, man. I love doing the play-in / playoff breakdown, and especially when the Lakers are involved. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be such a blast, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that breakdown, man. Thank you guys for participating in the comments. You guys really killed it, man. I think great minds think alike. We think very alike. We made a lot of the similar predictions. So much implications moving forward. And I think the Lakers should have this tomorrow, but you just never know with basketball, right? So I appreciate y'all, man. Much love. Real quick shout out to my sponsor, Prize Picks. Now's the time to get in on it, guys. Promo code DTLF, because I feel like players are much more predictable in the postseason. Whether you go over or under, you should be able to cash in. And what better way to do it than with your first deposit match guarantee with yours truly promo code. So major shout out to Prize Picks for the sponsorship, sponsoring this video and this channel. And shout out to you guys for the participation. Don't forget to please hit that like button on the way out and subscribe. Hit that post noti bell. Tons of content year round, even through the summer, coming on this very channel. So thank you guys. Much love. Have a great rest of your day. Get ready, because tomorrow we got a big game, Laker Nation. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.